Hi, welcome to the TCPW Live. We are here this evening with Miss Christina, and everybody knows her obviously as Kate. So, welcome, as this is exciting for sure, because I don't think y'all have really ever gotten a chance to you just talk and be on like in person with people. So, I don't, maybe you haven't. I missed it. If I have, I'm sorry.
I'm struggling a little bit to hear you. Is it me or
No,
It
it
was
could
it was
be.
a little
How
bit.
about now? Better?
that's
Yeah,
yeah, that's better. Okay.
yeah.
Just talking to the mic.
No, I'm super happy to be here though. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, whereabouts in the world are you?
So I'm located in New York, Long Island. So I'm from out east.
Oh, nice, nice. I live in North Carolina myself,
Oh, that's
so
nice.
we get to share the coastline there, which is nice. Um, so curious question. What exactly has have you like sorry, my brain totally got hiccuped for a second. Don't mind me, folks. I swear I've been awake today. So how exactly did you come across like carnivore and doing an animal-based diet?
Yeah, so it was a long journey. Am I echoing? Okay, there we go. Sorry. So it
No.
was a long journey. I would say I started from a very young age, I had really bad like gut problems, hormonal acne, and I always went to so many different doctors trying to figure out what was wrong with me because I had such bad stomach problems. I had like 2 endoscopies. I was on so many like anti-acid pills. And then I also had really bad cystic and hormonal acne. I've been on birth control, Accutane, every possible medication you could think of for skin. And then slowly, as I started getting older, I developed like a really bad eating disorder. And then that was like in high school. And then when I got to college, I started like getting into like holistic health because I realized like food was the cause of like a lot of my issues. So I started going down that whole rabbit hole. And then I ultimately found Paul Saladino. So he got me into the animal-based diet. So I was doing that for a couple months. And then I eventually did strict carnivore because I just wanted to see like how I felt. And I like slowly like weaned off the carbs. And then eventually I did carnivore November 1st of 2023. And it's been 2 years now. So that's basically
Nice.
my journey.
That is awesome. Well, happy carniversary.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
So, um, cystic acne and stuff like that is such a like debilitating thing that people I don't think really understand unless they've experienced it. And I personally cannot say that I know what that experience is, but I am a licensed medical esthetician. So I dealt with a lot of clients when I used to practice who it was like obviously before I knew what carnivore was or eliminating that kind of thing. And it's like you said, you start suggesting like, go get this, use this product, do that. And it seems like nothing ever really helps. Like it might alleviate it for a short period of time, but it's like you can never really get rid of it happening. And it definitely came to a point where I started to realize like this is more internal health than it is what's going on the skin because
Yeah,
this wouldn't
I
keep
agree.
showing up. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and I tried like the whole like 10-step skincare routine. I would put everything you could think of and nothing ever worked. And I've tried everything you could think of, and I swear the best things that work for me now is just eating meat and putting beef tallow on my face. And then on occasion, I put a little bit of makeup on, but that's something I'm trying to get rid of.
Yeah, I slowly over the years have finally gotten to a point where like I don't wear foundation and I don't like do this, but I can't get rid of my mascara. I had to say
Oh
it.
yeah, mascara, that's fine. It's just like the face stuff I'm trying to like, because I was used to like putting on stuff every single day, but now that I don't have like pimples and hormonal acne, I'm just like, I don't need to put it on every day, but on occasion it's nice.
Yeah, for sure. You guys know all about that, right?
Of course.
Yeah. I mean, I used to when I was very young in my teens, I used to have really bad acne and all of the ridiculous things that you put on your skin trying to clean it out and everything. They just kept coming back and kept coming back, and it's as like all things, you're just attacking the symptoms and not the root cause. So
Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely. Absolutely. I'm gonna try to unmute your mic, Joel, and see if oh, I can't unmute you.
He did for a second.
Nope.
There it
I
is.
don't know.
All right.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can
Hey,
hear
Joel.
you.
Oh, and can you see me too?
We can see you too.
Yeah, I was trying to
Okay.
use my computer before, but it was acting up, so I had to switch to my phone now.
Yeah, just throw it out.
So let me greet everybody properly now. Hi, Selena,
Hi, babe.
Miss Meet. Nice to meet you on live. I've been following you on Instagram for a minute now. So
Oh, yay, that's
yeah,
exciting.
yeah. I think the
Oh, nice
first
to
time
meet
I
you.
stumbled on your page was on Red Notes. I don't know, like you're on Red Note, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I think I started posting on there, which I don't know if I should continue to do that or not.
That's where I
But
saw it. That's where I saw it, though. I was just messing with the app and I just stumbled on you on Red Notes for like. Then I just came on Instagram and I started seeing your stuff. Yeah, it's good to have you here. You've been excited on in our community that you'll be coming on board.
aw, yeah, I'm so happy to be here.
Yeah, nice to meet you. So about skin, like for me, carnivore has really like the diet has given me much more clearer skin. Like it's been really different for me. The way I was eating before, I wouldn't get like clearer skin. Like most of the time, you'd be big on like skincare routines and stuff, but now I don't really, really care. I just moisturize, but my skin be getting clearer and like people be asking like what you using and I'm like nothing. It's just meat.
It's
it's
just this
just it's
glow
just
I got.
it's just meat. But and I always tell them it can only get better. I'm just almost a year into this thing and I'm looking this great.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and
I
that's
re
it.
I remember when I first came across your page, Joel, and I remember how you looked then, which wasn't bad, but I remember how you looked then, and to see how far you've come now, I'm like, it's so crazy what happens to people when they actually go on this lifestyle for more than 30 days, for more than 90 days, and
Yeah.
significant improvements.
When I started out this journey, like a lot of people was doubting, like, what do you think you're doing? Because especially people that have known me for like the way I used to live my life, like I'm just this guy that would just live life like as it comes. I don't even care about what I'm eating. I ate anything I wanted. I would drink. I would go out there to the club and just party. Then all of a sudden, like people that have known me just say the switch because I'd done my research about. I was just tired of like being unhealthy. Every time I've always like lived that way, I still go back and still like have like regrets, the way I would feel. But that was just personal. So I just thought like let me just get matured and just switch things up for myself. So and I said to myself, I'm gonna document this journey and see if it's something that is worth it. I didn't like even intend to want to start pushing out any post out there. I was just doing my thing and just saying, okay, because like a lot of people just criticized what I was about to do. So I was just like, okay, I'm not gonna tell people my story like word of mouth. I need to like just document this journey. And like 2 weeks in, things just started like changing dramatically. Like it was shocking to see how things could like switch up from like in space of like just dedicating to a certain lifestyle, and you start reaping the benefit of it in like 2 weeks. You know, it wasn't just about just losing weight myself. I just found out like the way I started to think was really different. It was more like something unlocked in my head,
Mm.
like something just cleared off, and I started seeing things differently. I started to think much more faster. And during that phase, like I had like so many things that I was able to start up to do that I know like normally I wouldn't have thought about this thing. I wouldn't have thought about this project. I wouldn't have thought about how to implement this like this. So it felt like probably the food I was eating, especially maybe eggs, started to like make my brain get better. So it's
Yeah.
then significantly, that's like if I tell you what I'm experiencing internally, but significantly now you can see like I started like to shed weight and to burn unnecessary fat that was making me feel sick.
Mm.
Most of the time I'll wake up very tired or very lazy. You can just start feeling like joint pains and all of those things. And like I became very, very lighter. So like everybody started to wonder, like, what are you doing differently? What's going on? I'm like, don't worry, you will see for yourself.
Yeah.
And that's it. And I got locked in, because
Nice.
I don't want to go
Absolutely
back
nice.
to like what it used to be before, you know.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Christina, what got you into posting and sharing your experience and basically becoming quite a billboard for, the carnivore lifestyle? I don't know anybody that I've talked to in this whole little group of anything who hasn't heard of you. So
Oh
what
wow, that's
what made you
amazing.
decide?
Honestly, so I have a good friend that he's actually my brother-in-law's really close friend who I started being around and hanging out with. And I was always into eating steak like before I went on carnivore because I was doing like the animal-based diet and I was really into like clean eating for a while. And he was like we would always have steak together. And then eventually I went on the carnivore diet and he was like, you should start an Instagram and name it Miss Meat and just do a bunch of videos of you eating meat. And I was like, that sounds like a good idea. And then I like just started doing it, but I never really like got into it. And then eventually I just like was like, you know what? I've been on this diet long enough because in the beginning of the diet, I cared so much what people thought of me. But now I post very diabolical stuff and I could really care less what people think about me. So I would say, like, after I've been on the diet for, I would say, like, towards like the 8 month mark of carnivore, I was just like, oh, let me just start posting on TikTok. And then eventually I started like reposting my stuff on Instagram. And then from there, it just like blew up. People were just like, oh my gosh, this girl is just eating meat, or like, how is she eating so much
Right.
meat in one sitting? Because I would be like, oh, I'm eating steak for breakfast. And people would be like, that's so weird. Because
It
people are not
it
used to eating steak for breakfast. In
right.
reality, I do it all the time, but
Yeah, same. Absolutely the same. In fact, when I did start eating meat in my world, um, that was, like, one of my favorite things was steak with fried eggs over medium. I mean, you couldn't beat it, and I remember thinking when I decided to go carnivore, and I was like, "Oh, man, like, I get to have that for breakfast every day if I want."
yeah.
And, like, that whole thought process, like you said, the concept of actually eating steak for breakfast, like, why is that so weird? Why is that strange? It
Yeah.
it really shouldn't be. It's real food. I mean, people go and they're like, "Let me go get my oats and berries and cream," And I'm sitting there going, okay. And then you start going down the line and it's like, well, now we're into cereal for breakfast. And I don't know, Fruity Pebbles isn't real food, guys. Like, why
Yeah.
is steak so odd?
Yeah, no, I agree.
It's marketing. I mean, like any television show you watch or movie when they're having like family breakfast or anything, it's a giant stack of pancakes and muffins and bagels
Yeah.
and whatnot. There might be some scrambled eggs and bacon, but it's basically a carbohydrate-based breakfast, or basically having dessert for breakfast. And
Yeah,
we've
every
been,
day.
like, you watch that, for generations, really. Like, that's been going on, and it just kind of becomes ingrained into our cultural DNA. You have cereal for breakfast. You have Pop-Tarts or waffles or pancakes with high fructose corn syrup on it. It's just you don't realize somebody else is doing your thinking for you a lot,
Yeah,
Absolutely.
that is true.
And then everybody's rushed, of course. So all the things that you cook, like, toaster waffles, toaster pancakes, they're super quick. Bowl of cereal, super quick and convenient. Eat it, get it on the go, and
You don't even have to use the toaster. You can just microwave them.
yeah. And then you're hungry an hour and a half later, and you're eating your lunch at 9 a.m. and yeah.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that people just want to go for convenience and just easy recipes.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
And it's funny, like people that eat like junks and rubbish are the one that are quick to like ask us questions about like
Mhm.
how
Is
this
this
is,
healthy?
or just tell us these things that would happen to us when we keep eating meat, but they never really worry about what happens to them when they keep eating like berries and waffles and junks for breakfast,
Right.
So Miss Meat, sorry, how have you been able to handle like misconception about like the way you've been eating, because so many women will be worried about like this diet, like it's just for like most reactions or question I get is like carnivore is mainly like for men, like why would a woman just be eating like meat and all of those things. Maybe there's a
Yeah.
way I can convince some of those women out there, like.
Oh yeah. Well, I do see a lot of people saying that like the carnivore space is like more like male dominant, where or just like people are just so used to like meat is not feminine in a way. I guess. I don't know if that makes sense. Um
You couldn't bake it with an apron on. It can't be feminine.
exactly. I don't
Every,
know. I wish it wasn't so like taboo or whatever.
all of the mainstream media stories about carnivore seem to make it seem like it's a male dominated thing because
Exactly, and
Joe
that's
Rogan does
what
it.
most women around me
That's not
say.
my perception at all. When I'm online and all of the content, like it's like decisively female dominated.
Yeah.
There's way more females doing carnivore than men, way more.
I think
Oh wow.
I think where it gets sort of like psychologically misconstrued is the speakers that hold the highest credentials as far as that goes are all mostly male dominated.
Yeah.
I mean, you're
That's
talking about
true.
Sean
Yeah.
Baker and Ken
Yeah.
Berry and Schultz and Chafee and, it's like, and I am beyond grateful for them, but I think that's
Right.
kind of where that conception sort of has grown with this idea, because the people that have the highest credentials to be able to fight for it with a little bit more, ass behind them, they are mostly men. And I do feel from my perspective, like you were saying, Steve, that as far as the actual percentage of women versus men who are actually carnivore, I think there's more of us women who are actually being a carnivore in the carnivore lifestyle. And I would apt to say it's probably because we're more willing to try to fight for what's wrong with us, like to figure it out.
I feel like there's a lot more that can go wrong with women because of your reproductive and your cycle, and then eventually you get to the menopause. The standard American diet and the ultra processed foods, I think they're a bit more harmful to y'all's hormones than perhaps men. I mean, it still harms men's hormones, obviously, but it's a lot more, you know,
Well, your
apparent.
guys' is hormone function is more stable. You
Yeah.
know, it's not quite as much of a roller coaster naturally.
Mhm.
So I think you're right in that for sure.
Yeah, I
Okay.
kind of agree with you because most women are not like on the forefront, so maybe that's the reason why, though.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
for
true.
sure. For sure. Um, all right, we're gonna touch the hard subject. I'm gonna throw this one out there. What is your experience or opinion or whatever you want to give about the whole concept that seems to be circling around about a lot of carnivores jumping off the diving board and adding carbs back in as if they are necessary? What do you feel about that, Christina?
Honestly, I haven't dived like too deep into it because I see like there's a lot of like YouTube videos coming out about like people switching um their diet after being like on the carnivore diet for a really long time, like introducing fruits and vegetables, which I don't think is necessarily like a bad thing, introducing them if that's something that they really want to do and that aligns with them and they still feel good. I think carnivore is an amazing tool for someone who needs to heal. Um, but that doesn't mean you have to stay carnivore forever. For me personally, I just feel the best being carnivore, and that is what works with like my lifestyle, where I could see where other people are like, oh, I need a fruit here and there, which I don't think is a bad thing. I do think that some people who have switched from like carnivore and say like the carnivore diet doesn't work, and then they're going to like more of like adding fruits and vegetables, and they're like, I feel so much better. They probably didn't give carnivore. I'm trying to think, like, I don't know, maybe tried leaning back on like dairy or like doing
Right.
leaner cuts, because everyone thinks you have to do, in my opinion, people are like, you need to do high fat carnivore to lose weight. And, some people don't like see results with that. But in my opinion, I think you could dial back the fat a lot. I know it's a ketogenic diet, but also, sometimes your body could utilize its own fat to
Mm.
um,
Yeah,
burn.
absolutely.
I
That's just
think
Absolutely.
I'm sorry. I think the fundamental issue that people have is they view it as it's kind of like a dietary hack. A lot of them go into it. I'm trying to lose weight, or I'm trying to do this or that, and I'm going to use carnivore as a hack to do that. From my point of view, with like my education background that I'm developing now, which is like a lot of biochemistry and everything. Like to me, carnivore is the proper ancestral human diet. And I don't think a lot of people understand that. The reason why they healed and fixed all of their issues is because they're eating what their body is designed to eat. And they just looked at it like it was just like a hack, kind of like people who went on the sugar diet thought it was like a hack to lose weight or whatever. Oh, I'm losing all this
Oh,
weight on the
yeah.
sugar diet.
Where
And
did that go?
yeah, it went into the dumpster because the guy who started it all said he was just punking everybody. So they cling to the old paradigm that it's just a hack, and then they keep going back to their doctor or whoever to get their blood panels done, and then suddenly the blood panels start changing, and they feel totally fine, but their A1C is suddenly off, and nobody ever asks or it's getting higher, or it's high, or it's abnormal. And nobody really asks the Bart K adage, according to who, on the basis of what? Like, why are you even going to get your blood panel done if you feel fine? If you've been carnivore for 10 years and you're feeling amazing, and you're still getting blood panels done, and then you're going back to carbohydrates because your blood panels are telling you that your numbers are off. And these are the same standards from the same quacks who tell you that if your cholesterol is too high, you're going to get heart disease, which we all know is complete nonsense. And then they're telling you your A1C is high. Well, if they're telling you your A1C, if you're telling you your cholesterol is too high and you know that's false, then why are you so concerned when they tell you that your A1C or your fasting glucose is too high, or your
Right.
thyroid is low or whatever? You're like, how do you feel? Are you symptomatic at all? Do you feel fine? Then you're probably fine.
Right.
It's just a fundamental like misunderstanding. It's kind of like just it's really difficult to get it out of your head, to get the dogma out of your head like that. Like it was like I knew that cholesterol was not causal in heart disease 20 years ago, but when I started hearing about the carnivore diet, I thought it was an internet gag, like swallowing Tide Pods or dumping, setting yourself on fire in the shower. You remember those fads that went around for a
Oh
while?
my gosh, or the cinnamon, you remember the cinnamon challenge?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I
Yeah.
remember that.
Yeah, all that silly stuff. I thought that's what carnivore was. Of course you need fiber. Of course you need vegetables. But I never really thought about, well, they told me that that cholesterol was bad. Maybe they were lying about fiber too. So, so I know it takes a long time to get that propaganda and that programming out of your mind. So people still cling to it. They keep going back to their doctor just for validation that they're doing the right thing, even though they feel fine. And it's probably because they don't realize that it's not a hack it's what you're supposed to be eating. That's why you feel awesome on it. That's why you feel best on it.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that
Oh,
makes
Lord,
a lot
TV.
of sense.
Huh?
Right.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. I thought a lot about it. I mean, obviously I have a lot to say about it. I think a lot of people trauma bond with their food as well. They've had trauma in their life and they use food as a coping mechanism. And then suddenly they're realizing that the food is not healthy for them. So they switch up their lifestyle, but the trauma still remains. So they don't have a coping mechanism anymore. And kind of like going back to an abusive boyfriend, you know what I mean? They end up back on the carbs. I think that's a lot to it because a lot of people, when they go back to, I can't remember who the person was, but like she wrote it was almost like she was writing a Dear John letter to the carnivore diet. She's like, this is the most real post I've ever made. And it was like this real emotional thing. I'm like, it's just food, and
What are you talking about? Food is life, Steve.
I know, but it's like it was a very emotional post about just going back to carbs. And I was like, why is this so emotional for? And, I don't know.
Because the addiction's still there.
Yeah, it's an addiction. Yeah.
Welcome, Ev. How are you?
I'm doing good, Selena. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Nice to see you on here, sir.
I can stick around for at least maybe about 10 minutes because technically I'm working. So yeah.
Well, Ev, this is Christina. Christina, this is Miss Meat, or this is Ev. God, my brain. I'm usually in
pleasure to
bed
meet
right
you.
now, guys.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Mm-hmm.
He shows up in the
I like
chat
all
with
your stuff. I love your content. Everything about meat. It's crazy. It's awesome. I'm jealous of your freezers though. I wish I had another freezer for all my meat because I'm at a point right now. You're gonna laugh. I'm at a point where I have so much meat shoved in my freezer above my fridge that I gotta use a bungee cord to keep it shut.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, you need a chest freezer. I need to get another one.
I know, but well, when you live in a second floor apartment, it's kind of
it's tough.
there goes
that was weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can't see you, but we can hear you.
Can you see me now?
No,
No.
it's like a bad AT&T commercial.
Stupid robots.
Yeah, well, I am in a school, so I got terrible service, I guess. Hold on. Let me try something here. Can you see me now?
No.
No, not even close.
No.
What if I exit out and come back in?
Okay.
All right. How do you exit out of this stupid thing?
I honestly don't know how to tell you that because I'm always the last one here.
All right. Hold on. Let's see here. Let's try this. All right. I tried turning the camera off, then back on. Can you see me now or not even close?
Nope,
Same.
it's black.
Black screen.
We love
Technology.
Ev. Maybe he'll be back in a minute. We'll see.
You should have seen it when we had like 3, 4, 5 extra people on all at once. There was the whole screen was filled up, and it was all like audio chaos. It was.
It was. It
Yeah,
was. I actually had to kick people out of the thing. It was like, I'm sorry, bye, click.
Bye.
Because it was
Really
like you couldn't
crazy.
hear anybody. Yeah. Yes, Philip asked, is your finger on the camera?
Is your finger?
Right. Look.
That's funny.
So sorry, guys. I can't see it. So, speaking of that, yes, we all have a wonderful view of your deep freeze on a regular basis, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
And you said you're needing to get another one. I mean, where do you put it all? Where's it going? Where do you get it from? That's another
Yeah.
thing. I think a
Yeah,
lot
where
of
do you get
people
it
are
from? Do you
always
like buy
curious.
half cows or?
I'm sorry, what'd you say?
I was saying, where do you get it from? Do you buy like half cows or go hunting? And
Yeah, a lot of people ask me like where I get my meat from actually. So I do get it from there aren't a lot of farms by me that sell like the quality of meat that I like because specifically like I like grass-fed, finished, pasture-raised, no vaccine, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I usually buy online from like a couple places and I did have like really bad histamine. I did talk about that a little bit on my account. I had histamine problems, which a lot of other carnivores do at first. So I had to buy like very low histamine meat from a lot of places, which was very expensive, but also, nice that there was, farms that I was able to buy them from. But now I buy like half a cow's. I just bought a fourth of a cow and I'm going through it like crazy. But yeah, I buy from a couple places online. I do White Oak, Billy Doe. I'm trying to think of some other ones. Butcher Box has good meat, stuff
You
like
better
that.
run us a check. That's from free advert.
Yeah, sorry.
isn't it funny how the less processed your food is, the more expensive it is? Like you can't like give me some meat that's not aged at all. Give me just give it right off the cow, and it's like, no, that's going to cost extra.
Which is crazy because it's actually easier for them to do because it's aging meat is actually more expensive. But if you want low histamine meat, which not a lot of farms do at all, they
Yeah.
I've never
have to
seen it.
hang the beef for a while. So I had to find places that literally from slaughter I would eat the meat, like get the
Yeah.
meat from slaughter. So it was a pain.
What's the taste difference like? You've had non-aged beef before, and you've obviously had aged beef before. What would be the taste difference, do you think, that would make them so?
Yes, I can explain that very well because I've only ate like my diet is pretty much lion for a very long time. So like I could tell the difference between steaks and an unaged steak versus an aged steak is different, I would say. Unaged, like from slaughter, it is a lot like if you cook it, it's gonna be or like cook it to medium, stuff like that, it's gonna be a lot more chewier and less tender just because, it's fresher, where like an aged meat definitely tastes better in my opinion, but I would say there's less of a taste when it's unaged.
A lot of times my eyes get puffy after I eat, like especially ground beef. My eyes just get real puffy, like I'm having an allergic reaction, and
Yes,
my
that
tears
was
get
me.
real mucusy, and then like I have like crusty eyes in the morning. It's pretty annoying. It's just an annoyance. It's not a terrible thing, but
I couldn't have ground beef for a really long time, but now I could finally eat it, which is nice.
awesome.
So, what's your favorite cut of the of meat then? Like, what's your favorite? What's your
My
go-to?
my go-to is a ribeye.
Mm.
But recently I've been liking a good I do like pecan. I always say it wrong. Could someone correct me, pecan, you know.
I have no idea either. I never heard of it.
Every time I say it in a video, everyone's like, "You're saying it wrong," and I'm like,
They're
"I'm
just
still gonna say it wrong
teasing
every
you
time."
because of your accent.
I know everyone. I don't think I have an accent, but a lot of people are like, "What's your accent?" It's just a Long Island accent.
So ribeye is it? Yeah.
Yeah, I would say ribeye is my go-to.
Most people like I love ribeye too. You know.
Yeah, I feel like that's everyone's favorite. I don't know why. It's the best cut.
But most
It
people
is.
underestimate lamb on the diet as well. Like people don't really do like much of lamb. They just do like beef almost all the time. And I
Yeah.
feel like lamb is really like really nutrient dense than even like beef in itself. I don't know, but
Yeah.
that's what I feel personally.
Yeah, lamb is definitely a lot more. I I love the taste of lamb, but it's harder to get unaged, and it's also harder to I would say it's more expensive. So that's why I think a lot of people stick to beef just because of the price difference. That's in my opinion. But I love lamb. Lamb is amazing. I would eat lamb every day too, if I could.
That's right.
Yeah, Carnivore Trip was asking if he thought he thought it was the spices that caused the histamine response, which might be true. I don't know. I know that a lot of people when they go lion diet for like autoimmune issues, they can't have pepper or garlic at all. It's just salt and ruminant meat. But apparently, when you age meat, it ups the histamine content in the meat, and you can have a reaction to it. So it's
Yes.
pretty common experience for people who only eat meat. And I've been carnivore for I'll be 3 years carnivore in February. So, and
Oh
Oh.
wow.
I
That's
still get
amazing.
I still get the histamine issue. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So what's the real cause of the? Is it because you're not eating like the meat like fresh, or because it's aged? That's why you get those issues, or what?
Yeah, it just has more histamine content in the meat, I believe, when it's aged.
Uh,
So you're consuming the histamines, and it's just causing a histamine response, like an allergic reaction. For me, it's puffy, teary eyes, basically. That's basically
uh,
that's the only way I feel it. It doesn't give me like a runny nose or anything. Just my eyes get puffy. I guess it affects everybody differently, though.
Yes, it does. I had loads of issues. I would get puffy face, insomnia,
Hmm.
I'm trying to think, the same stuffy nose, just allergy symptoms.
Yeah.
Yeah, my husband has a lot more sensitivities than I do as a person that just exists. He just seems to be more sensitive to certain things. And it was really funny. Of course, we live in the South, and pork is a really big thing here. Like everybody has pork. You have pork with everything. And it wasn't until we went carnivore that he got through this point where every night he was just kind of like, God, my stomach is really upset. It's really bothering me. Like, I don't understand. And I'm like, well, what did you eat? What did this? And it turned out every time it happened was a night that we did like a pork roast, or he had
Yeah.
pork chops instead of whatever. And I was like, you know what? Why don't we just cut out the pork? Let's just see where it goes. Doesn't happen anymore. So
Yeah.
Exact same thing with me. Every time I eat pork, I feel off. And
yeah, me
I
too. I've
really,
never
I
been a
really,
fan.
yeah, I really love pork. It's delicious, but um, like it doesn't bother me that I gave it up. I mean, like I go for the nutrient density anyway, so I prefer beef just for that, but I would eat pork every once in a while. But every time I ate it, it was just felt off. I felt like the thing about pork is it's just a dirty animal, like naturally, so it doesn't get rid of toxins the way that other animals are able to, especially ruminants. And so then if you're buying like just like feedlot pork, and you're like all of the GMO slop and the absolute abominations that they feed those pigs is ended up in their protein and their fat, and then you're eating it. Unless you can really afford to splurge and get like Joel Saladin pork, which is heritage pasture raised, pasture finished pork, eating acorns out on pasture. It's like $30 a pound. So
Wow.
if you've got that to enjoy the pork and have at it, obviously I love pork, but not that much.
Yeah, for those reasons you even mentioned, that's one of the reasons why I don't even eat it, because I just see them as dirty animals. They don't feed them like they don't have good feed. Mostly
Yeah.
eat nonsense. I don't know how people enjoy it, but personally, I would do for. I'll just go for like grass fed, grass finished.
And the thing with beef is even if it's like beef finished on a feedlot, the cow's stomach is so like advanced and just like a miracle that they don't even find like glyphosate in the meat and fat of the cow, even though they're fed GMO grains when they're being finished. So it's obviously superior to eat the the pasture finished, but it's not really that bad if all you can afford is just store-bought feedlot meat. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
You're right. That's
Yeah.
right.
Ivy, what is up, my man? It has been a minute. How are you doing?
It's been a hot minute. How is everyone?
Doing good, doing good. Welcome, welcome. Obviously, we are here with our special guest, Miss Meat, Christina. This is Ivy. If you
Hello.
haven't connected before, welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Where I don't know where it's going to go. Sounded like Charlie from the Chocolate Factory. Sorry.
There've been some good topics from when I've jumped in. Talking about obviously people reintroducing carbs is a hot topic lately, I believe.
What the fuck?
And just talking about pork as well. Like that's another good I think that's a topic I get asked a lot, to be honest, is like, what do you think about, pork and pigs? Do you have it? Is it good quality? Like there's just so many things you can dive in with that topic itself.
Absolutely.
And yeah, they're good. They're good questions to ask, I think.
So, what's your own take on people reintroducing carbs? Let me hear from you.
Look, I personally don't have them. Now I've experienced, with my clients, with guys that are struggling just because of temptation, because their mums, because it's around them, because they, it's in the cupboards. Like I get it.
But me cookies.
I obviously, I'm someone who's going to be realistic to them, right? I want them to obviously build good, healthy habits. And, I think if them having a selected carb, when I'm talking about like a fruit, not junk food, none of that crap, a particular fruit or something, and that fruit or date is something that's going to hold them together, being 90% carnivore or 85% carnivore for another year, for another X amount of time. I would rather them be flexible and take that option than just giving up on carnivore or just blowing out of the water. So I have been teaching some guys that struggle with those sort of things, just like utilize it, but I also set boundaries and rules around it as well. Because at the end of the day, if I can get them to stick to 80-90% carnivore or an animal-based diet, I know they're going to improve their health from where they've been or where they've come from. So I've been looking at it like that.
That makes sense. Yeah.
My only pet peeve with the influencers who are doing this is it gives the impression that carnivore didn't work for them, so the carnivore diet doesn't work.
Yeah.
I see that all the time. I tried carnivore and I couldn't do anything. I couldn't do this. I couldn't do that. Or I had this happen to me. It doesn't work. And then, meanwhile, there's legions of us who have been long-term carnivores and it absolutely does work. And that's a frustrating thing. And what's funny? I got to back off on the vegans on this a little bit too, because the vegans will attack anybody who leaves veganism and they'll just say, well, you just didn't vegan properly. And then here I am, I became a carnivore coach. And now I'm kind of thinking, these people who are failing on carnivore, mostly because they didn't transition properly. I'm kind of I'm kind of telling them that you didn't carnivore properly. So I kind of have to eat a little bit crow for the vegans here. I mean, there's a lot of intricacies in transitioning to carnivore. You really can't do it cold turkey. And if you do, you're going to experience some very, very uncomfortable problems and issues. And if you understand what those issues are, that's fine. But if you don't understand what you're going through, like oxalate dumping, and carb withdrawal and the keto flu type things and everything, and you don't know how to troubleshoot those things, you're going to feel like you're dying, and you're going to go back to the carbs and say it didn't work. And then, and then you'll probably say that it doesn't work at all because it didn't work for you. It's a kind of egotistical.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
agree with that. Philip said in the comments, troubleshooting is needed, which I definitely agree with that.
Yeah, my problem was with like top influencers like preaching the route of like adding like little carbs to it, like forgetting the basics of what the carnivore diet is essentially about. Like carnivore diet, like before, like looking at it from the animal based perspective, is just like strictly meat, salt, and water. You know what I mean? Like for the essence of like healing autoimmune diseases and all, but we just know like this is an animal based diet, and it's better for you to like maybe go the route of eating like chicken and lean meat and all of those things. But when you're trying to like influence people like to have little carbohydrate, is like you're diluting like everybody's effort to bring in healing to the society and trying to like tell them to eat like the way humans are meant to eat, like the proper human diet. I'm not saying like if this works for you, don't do it, but it's really sad like when you see like influencers like trying to like you've got like large followership and this is what you're talking about. You know what I mean? So, let's just let people know what the diet is about, and let's still be consistent about what it is about for real. Like instead of like diluting it, it's up to people to want to try going that route. You already know how you felt when you had removed all these things from your diet and started eating like the way humans should eat. My problem was just like, why would you want to do that? Because you're trying to get traffic, or you're trying to like make sure you maybe like please a whole lot of people. You know what I mean? Because when you talk carnivore, you're talking something very strict, something people don't like to hear. you know. But yeah, it is what it is at the end of the day, though.
Yeah, I don't want to be cynical and accuse them of just jumping the shark so they can make more money, but there definitely is a lot more money. There's a whole market out there of people who are desperate to find a way to stay on their unhealthy lifestyle and still be healthy at it. And like there's a big market for that. If you and I don't want to say that I don't want to accuse anybody of doing that, but I can't help but wonder if that isn't the case for some people. I have my suspicions.
Yeah, we just got to keep it 100,
Yeah.
Welcome, James.
Hey, James, what's up, buddy?
Hey, what's going on, everybody?
Yes, sir.
Can't tell, Christina. It's just a party in here.
I love it.
What's up, Christina?
Hi, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you as well. I'm traveling right now, but I obviously love the carnivore stories, and I don't think carbs need to be added back. That's my opinion. That's kind of where we were at all.
And I'm gonna drop the hammer.
Just try it in.
I mean, that's the whole rage right now on carnivore. It doesn't make sense. People who got on carnivore needed to get off the carbs in the first place. Clearly, it's some sort of a level of addiction because it turns into sugar in the body anyway. And people find healing and health with just red fatty meat all the time. And then suddenly we want to add carbs back in. It's like, no, it didn't work because of carbs. It's adding carbs because it's a food addiction, in my opinion, whether people want to admit it or not. So I know that comment or that conversation was going on right before joining. My take on that is it's all just hocus pocus. Doesn't really lean itself towards health. And if people want to get back into glycolysis and have to eat every 2 hours, then fine. If you have to charge your If you have to charge your phone every 2 hours, would you buy that phone? Absolutely not. You would say this is crazy. You want to get a phone that's going to last all day? Get to charge your watch every 2 hours? No, that's what we're doing as humans. We're eating food every hour, every 2 hours, saying, "Oh, this is healthy." No, it's not. Carbs are the body's preferred fuel source. Okay, well, I love the joke that Jonathan made. Well, alcohol burns before carbs. So is alcohol going to be the body's preferred fuel source? No.
I don't think that worked out for a lot of people.
Exactly,
Sorry, I had to
No.
get that out. It's been
No,
bothering me.
It came in on fire. It came in swinging.
Right? He was like, and we're dropping this one, and we're dropping this one. So I know it's hard for me in general to kind of be like, it's all just absolute BS, and you can't do anything, and you can't do that, and it's hard to be at that point. But the reality is exactly what you were saying, James, where it's like most people started eliminating carbs not just because of like wanting to lose weight, but because of the understanding that their addiction to the food itself was holding more power over them than they were able to control. And it's like you have people like I think it's Serena, right? Who she can't go off. If she has a bite of something else, I mean, she tells you in her stories all the time, that causes, oh, well, I can do it again tomorrow because, well, I already messed up. I can do it again the day after that. Well, you know what? It's already been a week. I might as well not start back until next week. I might as well not. And that's the part that I think is hard for a lot of people. They're seeing a lot of these big influencers who have been their main source of idyllic information for this lifestyle that are now going, sorry, it didn't work for me. Carnivore is not great. You have to have at least 100 grams of carbs. And their only source of awareness and understanding is coming from these people that they have idolized for the last year, 2 years, 3 years in this lifestyle. It's confusing. And if they don't have the resources themselves to understand, or they happen to be one of these people who are highly addicted to sugar, this is going to hurt them.
Yeah.
It's a dangerous servant and a terrible master. I always say that. It's like
For sure. For sure.
Because you have people looking up to them. Like for me, I was saying like I decided to like get on the diet when I wasn't feeling so good, and what influenced me was these people I was like, probably when I was doing my research, watching the YouTube videos and stuff. And imagine if I wasn't grounded and I was watching something from that same influencer that like influenced me to like live on the proper human diet, and hear them talking about like reintroducing carbs. It's more like you're taking me back to like where I was coming from. If I wasn't grounded, it means like I might just go that direction and I start feeling the way I was feeling again. You know what I mean? So, you know.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I'm not going to say that anybody else here that's on this live is going to have this opinion. This is just my opinion. I'm making this preface before I make this statement. But people like Zane Griggs, who are out here telling people literally that carnivore is basically like the worst thing for him. I think one of his most recent posts was yesterday where he lists all the diets, from 1 to 4 as to what's good or what's great, and carnivore's at the very bottom, and the rice diet is number 2. And I'm like, the rice diet's no different than the sugar diet. Like,
it is sugar.
Exactly. But people don't understand. They've not been taught the awareness about carbohydrates being sugar, the fact that they turn to sugar the moment your saliva starts to break down the enzymes. It's like that this isn't an education process that we're taught in schools. The general human out in society is unaware of this fact. They know that carbs are bad, but they don't even really know what carbs are. So it's like now you have somebody who not only was he on the Carnivore documentary Animal as the host narrator, and it's like, oh, you did that movie and now you're talking against it. What kind of BS mind trickery is that going to give some people? That ticks me off to no end. I have zero respect for that. Zero.
Zero. I love that. I love the word zero. What does zero mean? Well, it means zero substance at all. It means zero integrity. And so this person, thou who shall not be named anymore. I don't like giving people names and giving them
I don't
credit.
typically name drop either, but that one is on my
True.
list.
And I'm not going to be blind to what the tactics are here, but he is just one of many people in this system that has been ongoing in the last 100 years. And obviously trying to move this tactic to social media is really the aim, of course. That's fine, but we don't have to just follow like sheep. That's the biggest thing. We don't, because somebody was in a documentary Animal. I'm not saying this to you, obviously, Selena, but like just to the general population, like we don't have to just follow because, oh, somebody who I like or an influencer says, do this. Somebody says, eat carbs. No, ask yourself, did carbs get you in a worse or a better situation? Easy. It's just critical thinking. Critical thinking doesn't mean high task driven, all my time driven. Critical thinking is just stopping and not being inundated by all of the distractions in the world and saying, is this the right move? Yes or no?
Right.
Okay. If it's yes, then move that way. If no, then move that way. And then you have another yes or no question. And the path continues.
The sad part though, James, is we are in a generation, like my oldest son's generation, he just turned 18, right? This generation that is coming up is a generation that is probably the most in depth in the ideology that they do not have the means to critical think. They have been robbed of that ability, not because they're incapable, but because they were not given the tools throughout their educational period to be able to have deductive skills and critical thinking. It's not that they're incapable. It's that they haven't been trained in the skills to do so. So they hand their thing over to somebody else for everything.
Yeah, they're repeaters. They're just repeaters, and they're taught.
That's
what school is all about. If you study the Rockefeller and the Prussian model of schooling that we have in this country, it's about groupthink and conformity and bowing to authorities. Like all of the information that any doctor or any dietitian or any so-called expert has is available freely on the internet if you know how to search it.
exactly.
And but they'll tell you that you're not qualified because you don't have accreditation, you don't have a piece of paper, you didn't spend tens of thousands of dollars to get the validation that you know what you're talking about and no one else does.
We didn't sign off on your stamp of approval.
Yeah. It's like that that sign that some doctor had in his office about your Google search and doesn't override everything that I know or whatever. I forget what it was, but it was really narcissistic and just garbage. Like you're just a bunch of idiots and you're not important. So just listen to the experts and do exactly what they said. And that was especially the overriding message during the vid. That I can't say the actual word, otherwise it starts flagging things. But as far as like Zane Griggs goes, Zane Griggs is an absolute clown shoe. Like, he has the same kind of scientific basis of knowledge as someone like Lane Norton, but at least Lane Norton sounds like he knows what he's talking about. If you watch Zane Griggs videos, he's just oozing cope and it's just a desperate grasp at trying to pretend he knows what he's talking about. There's a lot of like he's just stuttering, and he has no grasp on the subjects he's talking about, and he's just spewing absolute nonsense, probably making most of it up. It's completely baseless. If you watch the Bar-K reaction to it, it's absolutely hilarious. He's just, write a script, son. But he's just a loathsome individual. I almost feel like he was a plant into the whole animal thing, so that he could, get involved in it, and then everybody can say, see, the guy who did the animal documentary, he's not even in the carnivore anymore. Just like, like they throw Saladino in our face, like Saladino invented carnivore, and now he's not carnivore anymore. So that means we're just, we're foolish for continuing to follow carnivore.
Wow. I had no idea about any of this. I'm so out of the loop with everything, I guess.
Yeah, it's just silliness. It's just
We get into really deep conversations and then we come out of them.
it's just the internet being the internet. You know what I mean? Like,
But Miss Smith was like in the beginning. You said like I think Paul influenced you, right? So when you
Yes.
went animal based, why didn't you just stick to like being carnivore? Oh,
Because when I was doing animal based, I did see a lot of improvements, but I didn't actually see as much as I like wanted to, and as much as I like needed to heal. I was still having issues with it. So that's why I think I came across maybe like Dr. Anthony Chafee, and that's what was like, maybe I should do like the ultimate elimination diet to just see what was really bothering me. And then, once when I cut out the fruit, because I did animal based for a while, and I was very strict, and carnivore, which was like eliminating the fruit, because people are always like, oh my gosh, you must have been eating like the standard American diet before I went carnivore. No, that was not me. You ask anyone that has been around me for the past couple years, I've been eating very, very, very clean. I went animal based, and I was strict animal based. Like, I was just eating meat and fruit. And then once when I cut out the fruit, I felt like significantly better. So that's just what worked for me. But yeah.
that sounds good.
I always find that interesting that people do like assume that when we go so drastic, if you want to say that, well, you must have been eating crap. I used to get that all the time. Like, oh,
Yeah.
were you eating a lot of junk food? And I'm like, no, I was like clean keto like for almost 7 years. Like, no, I wasn't just out there,
I was paleo for 5 years, and then a friend of mine who was like he was like this biohacker type dude, and he's like, well, you're healthy, but do you want to be healthy or do you want to be optimal? And I said, I want to be optimal. He's like, then go keto. So I was very clean keto for 5 years, eating, high fat, animal based with some leafy green, like, low carb vegetables. My carbs were about 25 grams a day. And then the only reason I went carnivore is because I was in a bodybuilding competition, and my food intake was so low in the depths of prep that I just cut out the plants so I can eat nothing but meat and fat. And I had shoulder impingements in both my shoulders that were gone within 2 weeks. And I was like, no way. And then I also had golfer and tennis elbow in both elbows. Like, I couldn't, with the impingements and the elbow issues, I really could not lift heavy at all. I had to do like what's called every minute on the minute workouts, which are super high intensity, but you can't go very heavy. So it worked out pretty well for me, but I couldn't lift really heavy. It was very uncomfortable. And within 6 to 8 weeks, the elbow issues were also gone. So now I can lift like I was, 20 years old. I can bench press heavy if I want.
Oh, wow.
And squat heavy. And
It's amazing.
yeah, it's I mean, so, and then at that point, I was like, why would I want to go back to that? It was so uncomfortable. I couldn't even sleep on my side. I was tossing like a rotisserie chicken every night because I would lay on one side and it would get achy and painful, and then I had to switch, and then I would wake up because it was achy and painful and switch again. It was awful. So why would I go back?
Wow.
Yeah.
So imagine just someone telling you just add a little bit of carbs into your diet.
Yeah. It doesn't work, huh? I mean, for me, when I was in the gym, just to be clear, I'm very into agility, Christina. So, but when I was in the gym, I was the strongest ever as a carnivore. And I didn't think that was even possible. And I want to just divert a little bit back to what you all were speaking on, which is like what we're thinking of eating as clean is really what's marketed to us. So, keto is a common term that we're living in, or even Mediterranean. These are marketing terms that people buy into, and then selling a product in turn. So I'm eating clean, but I'm going to buy even a product as hybridized as fruit and vegetables. People want to talk about fruits, but it's vegetables as well. And I've said this before. I get on my little rant here, but if humans are really supposed to eat vegetables, they're available year round. I mean, I just traveled up here to the colder part of the United States. Grass is still somewhat green. If you're hungry, you just eat some grass. But why are we limited to so few plants that we could eat? It's just in the grocery store because they're hybridized as well. Yeah. And my last comment here on the rant, and I want to break up my word here because I don't want us to get flagged in here. But it starts with a pan, and then it ends with a demic. Is ongoing. We want to talk about the whole thing that happened 5 years ago. The pan ends with a demic is the chronic diseases across the world, and no one's calling it out.
Absolutely.
Well, if I went off on that, I would get us all banned. So I'll just let's just do the eyeball.
We got you.
I was thinking about keto is keto has been marketed, and ketogenic is an actual, kind of like physiological or biochemical term. Like when you're in ketosis, that's ketogenic. That's where you want to be on a keto diet. But there's all kinds of labeling shenanigans that they could do where they could sell like keto bread. You know what I mean? All they have to do is name the sugars, all different kinds of sugars, and then you can use maltodextrin, which is a polysaccharide, so they don't have to list it as a sugar. There's all kinds of labeling loopholes that they can exploit to make it look like it's low carb when it's not, and that's why a lot of people fail on keto too. They're just trying to find keto versions of all the garbage that made them sick in the first place.
Absolutely.
Keto version. I follow some of these keto groups on Facebook because I have a meal prep business where I sell keto meals to people. So sometimes I'll steal their recipes and give it to my customers, but they're always trying to tell people like eat keto at Burger King or eat keto at Arby's, and I'm like the keto version of junk food is still junk food. I mean,
it's just how you see like in the supermarket when they live out protein. Every bar's protein bars and stuff like that. Like
just candy bars.
Just eat meat.
That's it.
Propaganda and marketing is something that I find is very, very important because it's so insidious. These people are just masters of making you think that you're thinking when you're not really thinking. They're thinking through you and you're acting through them.
Yeah.
How did they convince men that drinking beer is manly and masculine when it absolutely wrecks your testosterone? You know what I mean? Like
the power of persuasion.
Yeah, it's absolutely amazing. Not to mention, industrial engine lubricant became heart healthy, and when they told us not to eat animal fats, like how did they do that? And just repeat the lie often enough, and it becomes the truth. And it's really incredible how that works. When you look back on it, how did they convince us to eat this total garbage, this slop, and they tell us it's good for us, and all the foods that we've been eating the entire time we've been human is somehow bad for us. That's incredible if you really think about it.
Absolutely incredible.
Well, I do think that's the power of these conversations, though, and also for each of us as we share individually the truth about the healing properties of real food. I think it's hilarious that we have to isolate like real food as I always say, red fatty meat, because you have to isolate it for people. Say, hey, you want to eat some healthy food? You want to feel optimal? Eat red fatty meat. Oh, no, I'm telling you, that's what it is. That's part of the joke here. Is that is your point? Is we're I said this before, Selena, you know it, but we're turned around and upside down at the same time.
Yep.
At the absolute same time. We're not just backwards, we're upside down.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, we're not going in the right way at all. That was it. I mean, I'll rant and rave. I'm confused like all of us, but I'll rant and rave about our lifestyle.
Yes, I love it. I have to say, I think I said this last time too. Like your catchphrase gets stuck in my head. I'll be like walking through, and my husband will say something. And I'll be like, "Carnivore, baby, let's go!"
Yeah, man. Sometimes you're just chilling and that comes into your head. Like,
That's funny. It's good.
I think I've heard it like over 1,000 times. You know, his videos are very short and he ends that way. Like, you just keep hearing that word like all the time, man.
Well, it's also clarity, though. I mean, again, I think we have to emphasize to people, you know, what, as you said, what is a carb? Selena, you were asking that question earlier. Do people know what a carb is?
Right.
Do people know what real food is? No. So part of it, and I'm just joking on the phrase, which is it's an ending to a content post that is saying, here's the real food. You can identify it. You can visualize it. And also, here's the lifestyle that we title this. And it's a triggering term. And I love using it because if we said, you know, carb life, let's go. People aren't going to be like, oh, great. Like, okay, that's just kind of normal. But then you say carnivore, let's go. It's like, boom. This is the lifestyle. Boom, carnivore.
Yeah, it is like because like everything I do these days just revolves around like my lifestyle, you know, like because you know it's different when you eat like this. It doesn't because I usually tell people like this lifestyle or eating this way is not just about the diet. It's a lifestyle that like depicts like discipline and you know you walk into a room where people are having like loads of garbage like you go into a party and everybody's eating something that pleases them. You see a lot of junks, you see drinks, and the will to be able to say I'm good, because your body is already fat adapted, so you're not even like moved by whatever you're saying. That's not ordinary. That's like something that is very very difficult to find these days. Being disciplined, that's what like this lifestyle has taught me. It's taught me to be able to like be disciplined, like in terms of like all odds. You know, I can go like hours without even feeling hungry, and you know, in the moment you're like amongst people and they're doing all sort, and you stand out to say no, I don't eat food like this. You're an inspiration to someone saying no to sugar. Sugar is a drug. It's a lot to cure cravings. You know, cravings is not something that is really easy to like do away with, but that moment you can override it and say like you don't crave for sugary stuff, and you already won in life, because you won in life by avoiding type 2 diabetes or any sicknesses. Even people eating carbohydrates now, it's not like they're sick or anything, but on the long run it starts to tell on them. That's why we're saying like do it with this, don't eat this, don't do this, don't do that. But that's just what it is, you know.
Absolutely. I'm in a side subject because I don't know how much longer we have, Miss Christina. Um, but I did want to ask you something. How has this lifestyle possibly given you a different sense of purpose in life, or a different experience about what your purpose is in life, maybe? Have you had anything that has given you a big shift in that?
That is a really good question, and I feel like I could resonate with that a lot because before I started this diet and this lifestyle, I wouldn't say I was unmotivated, but I feel like this diet and this lifestyle has made me the most energetic, best version of myself so I'm able to really just like whether that's something I'm passionate about or just my work, like it makes me just want to be that much better. So I would say these past 2 years that I've been strict carnivore has made me like also really love this community and stuff, but also be really passionate about like my work and just like sharing it with other people. So I would say that's like a huge thing with me.
Yeah.
And I think I talk about it a lot, but I wouldn't have been able to like buy my house or any of those things if I was not on carnivore. So
Yeah.
yeah.
That is awesome. What do you do, by the way?
So well, I do social media full time. So a lot of
Right.
people ask me that, but I've been doing social media for a while for like I do like clothes and things like that. I do like reviews with clothing. And
Nice.
yeah, which people would be like, "Oh my gosh, that's so not you." And then that's why I got into like the whole talking about like meat like on my account and carnivore because I just been doing it for so long. And I was like,
Yeah.
I want to share because I'm truly like passionate about that. So then now that's why I talk about carnivore on my account.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Good stuff.
That is awesome. Absolutely awesome. So I wanted to make sure I got that question in case she had to run
Yeah.
away because I know we requested an hour, but it's been
Yeah.
over an hour.
So how long do you guys usually do these meetings for?
We just kind of wing
Just
it.
keep going? Oh, that's so fun. I love that.
It's usually
Oh, yeah.
around this long, but some more, some less. But that's my perception. Anyway, usually it's about an hour, hour and a half,
Yeah.
hour and an hour
Oh,
and a half.
that's super cool. I will
Yeah. I
definitely
think
have to join in more.
that would absolutely be awesome. I know a lot of people would really like that. I would as well, by the way.
Me too.
Is this your first ever podcast? I think they said that you've never really done like an interview before.
I've done some podcasts, but not many, honestly.
Yeah, that's why I was like, I wasn't sure because I'm like, I haven't seen one, and if I missed it, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I don't really do them often. Honestly, I haven't gotten a lot of people like reach out to me about it. Just maybe the
Yeah.
carnivore. I don't know if like a lot of carnivores have podcasts or not.
A lot of them do. A
Oh,
lot of
really?
them do. But I think I'm just gonna say, I think a lot of people have maybe been a little afraid to reach out to you.
Oh,
Like
really?
they get like stardom like syndrome, I think, because you are such a big part of this idyllic presence in the carnivore space, whether you know it or not,
Really?
madam. You are.
Oh, that's nice.
I like I said, I don't think I have spoke to anybody who doesn't know who Miss Meat is
Oh,
in the
wow.
carnivore space.
Aw, that
So
makes me feel really nice because
so I think
honestly, I'm
that
so out of tune with everything. Like even though like social media is my full-time job, I am like never on social media. So like what I put out, like I said before, is just my true authentic self and just like very diabolical. Like sometimes I should probably like double take of like what I'm posting, but it's just who I am, I
yeah.
guess.
I know one of our members here in the comments said that they actually had a favorite video of yours where you were talking about it was one of the first videos you posted up about getting to spend adult money.
Oh yeah. Everyone loves those.
And I was like, yes, yes, that was probably one of my favorite phrases too. I was like, yes, I have adult money.
Well, everyone thinks the carnivore diet is so expensive, and I'm like, From what I used to pay, because I've been living on my own for a really long time, but I used to have to buy like my own groceries, and I was like I said, I was eating really clean a while ago, or clean, like not really. But I would like read all the food ingredient labels. I was like one of those crazy people who are like, I can't eat this, that, seed oils. And this has been like years of me doing, and it's way more expensive eating like that than it is carnivore. You could eat, like, I eat a lot, but like I feel like meat is not as expensive as me eating like 5 meals a day when I used to eat breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, dessert, you know.
Yeah, I have the same experience myself.
Yeah, I agree with you.
I spend about $9 a day on carnivore. 9.
Yeah,
It's like,
that's
yeah,
not
it's like
bad.
it's like the average American, I think, spends 22.
Oh, those are good
Yeah.
statistics. I didn't know that.
I tell people all the time, even now, like people used to go to the drive-through at at a fast food restaurant because it was cheap. But now
It's the
you
same.
can't say that anymore. I'm like, McDonald's is way more expensive than what I spend. As like nobody who drives in the drive-through has any business telling me they can't afford to eat the way I do. It is dirt
No,
cheap. Dirt cheap.
it's
Even with all this outrageous inflation. I mean, I do have my own chickens. But
Oh, that's amazing.
you know what I mean? Like it's not that expensive. It's like, you know, maybe $12 a day if you count what I feed my chickens as part of my food bill.
yeah.
Steve, you
Sure.
forgot to mention though, it may be cheaper at McDonald's because they're eating from the value menu.
Yeah.
But even still,
I don't even
like
think they have do they have a dollar menu anymore? I don't even think they have one
I don't think
anymore.
it's
no,
a dollar. I made a joke. It didn't
yeah,
catch here, but I'll try to
they
clarify. Which is, it's one of those zero foods.
Yeah.
It's a zero substance foods. So
Yeah.
if you're
yeah.
eating for cheap, you're getting nothing out of it. And actually, you're getting unhealth out of it.
You get what you pay for too. Like most people never think about like when they buy something that's super cheap, especially food. Like, what are you actually buying? Because real food is expensive. Not expensive, but I
Yeah.
mean, like, well, if you're making it for yourself, it's not expensive. But real food, like at the store, like or at a restaurant, like that's expensive. And if you're buying it cheap, then they're buying it really cheap, which means they're probably just buying like absolute slop. You know? Yeah.
I
I
love
work
that
in the
word.
restaurant industry too. You don't ever want to eat there.
Well, if you so we all eat mostly meat, obviously eggs and maybe some other things. So with that in mind, speaking of certain fast food restaurants, they have this one place. I don't want to do any ads here. This one place has a product that goes by the acronym Q and a P with a C. If that catches on. So eating that, it's a quarter pounder, mixed with or compared with what I thought was real food. This is early in my carnivore journey. I would get that value product. And that value
Right.
product meat is literally cardboard. I
Yeah.
remember the first time I tasted it, and that was the first time I realized, wow, I have been eating this cheap garbage food my entire life. And that is
It's
why I had the
mind-boggling.
issues I had.
Yeah.
When
It's
I
not even
mentioned
food.
Yeah, when I mentioned earlier about all of the regulations and loopholes that like they can go through to like label like keto, let's say, like people don't understand things like regulatory capture and rent seeking like in our economy and everything, where like the regulatory agencies that tell restaurants like McDonald's what they can and can't say are literally owned by McDonald's. So when McDonald's tells you that their beef patties are 100% beef, which is salt and pepper, there's zero reason why you should believe them. Zero. Not to mention, like when you work in a kitchen where you're frying with seed oils, like the seed oils almost evaporate and it gets on everything. That kitchen is dripping with seed oils. And I always wonder why people think that a McDonald's burger tastes so much better than a burger they just make at home. Like they just think it tastes so amazing. Why does it taste so amazing if it's beef and salt and pepper? You can make beef, salt, and pepper at home and it doesn't taste that good. So
Exactly.
what's going on there? You know what I mean? Like nobody thinks about that. It really, I don't know.
There's a secret ingredient.
It's definitely a pet peeve of mine. I ain't criticizing anybody. I'm like, please stop going to McDonald's. I worked in the restaurant industry. You know what I mean? Like, it's just an abomination. Unless you go to a fine dining restaurant where the chef really cares about the quality of the food he's preparing and he's not looking to give you any crap or cut corners by adding MSG or chemical flavor enhancers or anything like that. It's really, really a crapshoot whether you're going to get actual real food that's not tainted. Especially at McDonald's, especially at Wendy's and McDonald's and all these places. You're just kidding yourself. I'm sorry. I know everybody's like, oh, I'm on the go. It's just easier and everything. And I'm like, pack a meal. Just pack some hard-boiled eggs or fast. Don't do that. Don't do it.
So I do agree. Every point you made there is awesome. And I agree with it. It's hard not to agree with it if you really, I think, if you're really being honest. And I just wanted to share an example from my own experience. And I did it even today as I'm on the road, traveling, on the go. I walked down to the hotel lobby, and I'm definitely not eating the cereals. They have zero whole food milk here. It's all the skim milk. Every drink option is like a sugar option. And the catch I wanted to get at is I opened up the eggs. They look powdered. And then the sausage looked like rubber. So I said, okay, absolutely, I'm not eating here. So what am I going to do? Look for the nearest diner. I took a ride share, and I ordered to make sure that I don't get anything but real eggs. When you're at a diner on the go, or even at McDonald's, I've done this as well, I believe. Let me just keep it to today. Ask for the over easy or over medium eggs, however you like them cooked. So then you know you're getting a real egg. So that was my, for those who are on the go, or if you know someone who's on the go who has an excuse to keep them on track or to keep myself on track, I order fried eggs, not scrambled, not at a restaurant.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
So I made a video, I posted a video on my Instagram, it was me at the hotel, spending night there, and the typical breakfast, cereals and stuff like that. I'm like, damn, so many sugar-loaded options to take from oats, and people don't know when you got maybe you have on a breakfast like that, you could just simply just eat boiled eggs, and eggs are superfood. You don't really have excuses to just eat those shit out there, man. It's all in fancy boxes.
Yeah, that's all it is. By the way, Ivy, I've never seen you live.
In the flesh.
Yeah, in the flesh. I love all your stories as well. Same with you, Christina. Super excited.
Thank you.
You're both here. I just wanted to say that much. But yeah, it's awesome to be in even a digital environment with like-minded people. And
power of the community, right?
Yeah.
Bro, I live in southern Mississippi. I have zero people in my community to talk about this stuff with.
Well, you've got us, bro. You've got us.
It's literally the most unhealthy part of the whole country.
We got big names on the shows.
They think I am out of my mind.
Yeah, I could agree with that. I have nobody around me, so it's nice to connect with people online. That's part of the reason why I started a social media page, because there's, not a lot of hope around me.
That was very, very similar. It was like when I started feeling so good, I was like, man, everybody's got to know about this because there's nobody around me who knows about this.
Yeah.
What's going on? And it wasn't until after I was probably 3 or 4 weeks into starting my account that I was like, wait a minute, there's a whole world of people out here.
Yeah.
They're just not near me.
Yeah, y'all live in Narnia or some shit.
Carnitopia.
Call it Carnia.
Carnia. Yeah. Brian always says Carnitopia, I think.
Yeah, he's so funny.
The United States is a very large country, and then some of y'all live across the pond. That's nuts.
Yeah, I think, let's see, if it's evening time, that means it's early morning, like what, 10 o'clock for you, Ivy?
It's 12:30.
Jeez, 12:30, lunchtime. Just kidding.
Lunchtime.
I was guesstimating.
Yeah, lunchtime and Wednesday.
Yeah.
Well,
we haven't
I know
made it to Wednesday yet. Talking in the future. Sorry.
I made a reference before, but I think it's worth mentioning that I do think there are millions of carnivores in the world. And, quick, easy math, or ask AI, which is if there's 1 million, just an even 1 million carnivores in the world and a population of 8 billion, and that's 1 in 800 people who are carnivore. So that we aren't really going to cross by many carnivores in our lives. If there's only 1 or 2 in every 1,600, it's going to be very unlikely. So it's very important.
I don't know why I suddenly got Steve Irwin in my head, like, crikey, there's a carnivore.
That's what it feels
You know
like.
what? I need to make a video like that the next time we go hunting.
Yes. And don't judge my Australian accent.
No, that's fine. You give it a crack. It's all good.
Sorry, said it with love.
I'm gonna have to make a video. That's actually such a good idea when we go hunting. Yeah, it's such a good idea. Because we've been hunting heaps lately, and I've been just bringing back kangaroo and deer.
Nice.
Oh wow.
Yeah, just
So cool.
full on, and we've just been obviously skinning them, chopping up, and then I've just got weeks and weeks of meat.
Nice.
I want to do that so bad. Like, want some deer around me.
Some crocodile.
There's no crocodile around me, but I wonder what that would taste like.
Have you ever had it? Have you guys ever had crocodile?
I've had it. I'm in
Yeah,
the south.
I have.
Yeah,
I've had alligator, but not crocodile.
What does it taste like?
Okay, I've had alligator. My bad.
Well, I was gonna say the same. Alligator, not crocodile. Same thing.
Yeah,
They are not the same thing. They are different animals.
What does it taste like?
It tastes like a fishy chicken, like that salt chicken, that saltiness,
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
What about I had the other day some camel and some emu.
What? Camel?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not like, oh my gosh, how can you eat it? I'm just kind of like, people serve it?
Yeah, yeah. We had some camel and emu. So that was
it good?
To be honest, so many people ask me this like about kangaroo or venison or whatever. And I'm like, honestly, I don't know, it just tastes the same. Whatever. Honestly, I can't tell the difference. Like, I've been eating meat for that long. I'm just like, I don't know. Like, it just tastes the same. Do you know what I mean?
You're not a
Same
metasaur?
Yeah.
It could be.
I totally want some kangaroo now.
Yeah, it just tastes the same, hey. Like, I couldn't tell the difference. I just eat it.
It's meat. You'll eat it. That's all that matters.
Like, literally, do you know what I mean? Like, even when we go hunting and when we're prepping the meat and like we're chopping it up and stuff, like I'll just like pick up a leg and I'm like, oh, this looks pretty good, and just eat it. And I'm just like, whatever, like who cares?
That's the best.
I'm sorry. You look too clean cut, Ivy, to be out there like hunting and just like with a leg. Like,
that's what I'm thinking too.
What do you mean?
I'm sorry. We need evidence of this.
Yeah.
I normally when I do it, I go live on Instagram that we're full chopping them up.
Okay, well, I can't help that you're 14 hours ahead of me and I'm asleep.
Sorry, it's in the future. Yes. All right. Well, next time I'll try and make a video or something for you.
Yeah, that's super cool.
See, we're on the same page here. We require this.
I want to learn more about like hunting animals and like, I don't know, that would save a lot of people a lot of money. I feel like if you were able to get your own meat.
Yeah. No, literally, like it's like the equivalent to like you guys, like if you guys order like half cows or quarter cows or full cows, right? Like you save so much
Yeah.
money, right?
Yeah.
But now take it to that next level where it's like you go hunt it, kill it, skin it, and you got all that for like what? Just your time out there adventuring, like things like that. So the
Skill. Yeah.
yeah, like the deer that we got, I think we got like, what did I get? I think I had like, I don't know, like 10 kilos of meat mince. 10 kilos, what's that, like 6 pounds? But I gave half to my mate as well, so he had like another 6.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
wow.
then same with the kangaroo, like we had heaps, and that's just off one.
Wow.
So it's like it's so much, like it's so much there, and it's just I don't know, it's something different when you hunt it, skin it, mince it yourself,
Yeah.
bag it up, and then you put it in your pan. It was like this morning. I had it this morning. I put it in the pan. I'm just like, we killed you, like we skinned
That's
you. It was like
amazing.
it's
Yeah.
so fresh. Yeah, nothing. It's different. It's
The
a lot
best
different.
quality stuff you could get.
Yeah.
And I
That is
think
I
cool.
have
there's
a question with that. With
Yeah.
the venison, do you add, because people say they add fat to like their blends and stuff. Like, what do you think about that? And I'm curious to hear like all of your guys's opinion on like how much fat do you guys eat, like fat to protein ratio? Because I know
Oh, yeah.
that's like big in the community where
Probably one of the biggest things I ever get asked, or like, hey, like I don't know how much to eat. Like, hey, I know what to eat, but like, what's the ratio?
yeah.
And I honestly think everyone is different because
I agree, yeah.
I've seen guys do really well on a high fat, moderate protein. I've seen people do really well on a high fat, like, bare minimum protein. I've seen people do the complete opposite. Like me personally, I've always been a high protein, low fat. Like, because if we look at kangaroos, I think the leanest meat in the world. It's like
I was about to
99%
say
protein. There's no fat in it.
lean.
And I thrive off it. And I don't go crazy to add the extra fats.
That's
So yeah,
interesting, yeah.
everyone's different, I think, depending on what their goals are, what they're trying to heal, if they want to, build muscle, lose fat, autoimmune, all those things. I think it all depends on what that person is trying to really do.
I agree with that too, because I see a lot of people, which high fat is definitely amazing healing tool, but I see a lot of people struggle with like overdoing it on the fat, and then
Mhm.
they wonder why they're gaining so much weight. And I feel like because there was a time where, I was struggling with like histamine problems and things like that, and people were like, high fat, high fat, high fat. And I like put on weight and it didn't make me feel good.
Mm.
So where like I feel like a lot of people in the community are very for like doing a certain ratio, but I feel like just being in tune with your body is huge.
Yeah. I think it's the other thing too. Like I see a lot. Everyone, like when they come to the carnivore, like that's all they know because that's all they've heard. It's just like, oh, you just got to have high fat, high fat. And I feel like the carnivore space set that as like the guideline or the standard to follow, but
Yeah,
it
I see
it
that a lot.
doesn't. It's not always the answer. And people will come in, like you said, like they'll just try and do the high fat, and it's like if they're trying to lose weight, it's really slow, or they stall, or they so many things, and it's like we just automatically assume the carnivore's just got to be high fat.
Yeah.
And I think there's clarity. I'd like to at least add clarity because I think coming from our past lives or people who are entering the carnivore space are used to a world where you fear the fat. And so I think
Yeah.
as a default in the carnivore community, we like to invite those to say, hey, you can't eat the fat. Make sure you eat enough fat. And it can translate into, as you said, Christina, it stopped working as being optimal for you. I think the most important thing is eating the most nutrient dense food to humans.
Like raw dairy is a superfood, and without any kind of context whatsoever, that not everybody should be consuming dairy. They'll just be chugging raw milk and being like, you should be chugging raw milk, and I'm like, no, not everybody. You know what I mean?
A gallon a day.
Yeah, and like not everybody like fat is not going to make you like obese fat, but you will put on like some pounds if you overeat fat. That's just a fact, because I've seen it. And I'm a bodybuilder, and I, back in the day when I was a little bit more attentive to my physique, when I went high fat and was just chugging fat as my, just looking for more energy, I found out that I was just getting puffy everywhere, and it wasn't really making me feel terribly well. So, like if I were to plug my food into a macro counter, I'm at the standard basic keto ratio, where I'm about 70% fat, 80% fat, and like 20 to 30% protein, 0 carb. But that's different it's going to be different for everybody. It's going to be a lot of context too of what stage of your healing that you're into, because it's like if you're someone like Bella, Steak and Butter Gal, who was transitioning from long-term veganism, her hormones were probably just absolutely wrecked. And then she's going carnivore. She said she was eating 6 pounds of meat a day with massive amounts of fat. She was just, she'll eat a stick of butter. That girl still to this day eats twice as much as I do. And you see,
she said that there were times she ate 4 sticks of butter a day.
Yeah.
4 sticks. I'm like, geez.
Yeah, and I could not do that. I couldn't eat 4,000. Well, I want to put calories in quotation marks. Can't eat a calorie, but she said she eats like 4,000 calories a day, and my caloric total for my day would be like 2,000 probably. I don't eat a lot, and so it's just different for everybody. It's amazing. And if you look at Bella just has she's just like a goddess walking the earth, and eats twice as much as I do. And if I ate that much, I would blow up like a balloon. I would get pretty sloppy if I ate that much. Everybody's different. You really have to formulate your own way, figure out what works for you. It's that everybody's an N equals 1 experiment. It's not going to work the same way for everybody. Not everybody is on the same level, the same part of their journey. Some people have hormone issues that need to heal. They might need more fat at that time. Or, someone like me, I transitioned very smoothly into the whole thing. I don't really have any issues. So I just eat what my body wants to eat,
Yeah, I feel like people just starting on the diet like is necessary for them. Like you're just transitioning into like the carnivore lifestyle to prioritize like probably fat, so that you can ease into it like fully, because you're coming from a place where you're not fat adapted. You know what I mean? So you need to
To
like,
help ease off the carb
yeah,
cravings.
exactly.
Yeah.
So like for someone coming into the lifestyle newly, like carnivore diet, you need to prioritize like, because that's what I noticed. Like when I wasn't doing enough fat, that was really difficult for me. But as soon as I like added a lot of fat to it, it became much more smoother. Like guts like was performing much more better that way. Then you can now ease it down and prioritize protein maybe on the long run, because at the end of the day you need a lot of, if you want to get like leaner and get much more, because protein has a lot of like much more benefits. So it's just
It's
how it
all an
works. Yeah.
experiment. Yeah, for sure. I've kind of been going through a bit of an experimental phase over the last 6 weeks, and the last 2 weeks, almost 2 weeks now, I changed up how I've been eating, and I've been eating a lot higher protein and a lot lower fat. And for me personally, it doesn't seem to be as beneficial as for some. But I have had a difficult time getting rid of a lot of the excess like fat weight that I'm carrying around. And so it's like, and I started to lose, and then I decided to change this up, and I have put back on a little bit more weight, and I have been edgier, would be the nicest way I can put it. I've been edgier. And that's not to say that that would be that way for anyone else that is experiencing that. The only thing that I've come to this conclusion that it might have something to do with the fact that I have CEDS. So I have what is classic Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. And that causes you to have a forced slow metabolism. There are things that I can force it to speed up, but it will naturally always want to like slow back down. So I couldn't look at myself and go, well, based off of me, this is what everybody else should do, because not everybody else has the same, genetic disposition that I have. And I didn't know that that's how I was going to react by upping my protein and lowering my fat. I think I need to find something a little bit closer to a higher fat, but maybe not as high fat as I was, but not as low fat as I've been the last 2 weeks. Because I can tell you, my husband is like, "Are you almost done with this?" And I'm like, "What do you mean, am I almost done with this? What are you trying to say?"
Well, I mean, we can get into the ratios, but I would like to touch on something related to animal fats.
Yes.
But it's less about the ratios here, which is we've been hoodwinked and duped into thinking that the animal fat is bad.
Mhm.
And isn't it interesting how people will eat the lean part of that food and it comes from the same exact animal?
Yeah.
I think that's
Yeah.
very interesting. Even if it's a lean meat, people are like, okay, well, I'll eat that. But as soon as there's fat on it and it's connected to that same food, it's unhealthy. And it's just like saying one part of the coin is bad and the other side is good, but they're the same coin.
Right.
So
Right. Right. I get where you're going with that. Like watching people cut all the fat off their steaks at a restaurant, and you just sit there going, all of that gold is going in the trash.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Anyway.
I'm also one to feel good on lots of fat though, and that could be related to just my activity level. I don't have the answer. Like I mentioned, agility. So I like to have lots of bacon lately, and I don't overcook it. So when it's out of the pan, it kind of droops down. A lot of people like bacon. When you pick it up, it's just a solid piece. So I like to keep it very fatty. But that's just me. Helps.
Droopy bacon.
Yeah. Droopy, very undercooked.
That's so funny. Well, guys, I am probably going to have to shut us down here. As I I'm just now seeing your message, dear. Yes, it's time to go. And I'm like, it's an hour past my bedtime. I know.
It's getting
But
closer.
It's almost 2 a.m. for me here.
what
Oh,
in the world?
Yeah.
Madman.
Well, this is
Well,
an
this was
interesting
fun.
conversation. Yeah. So yeah.
Yes, absolutely. It's been a pleasure having you, Christina, and hopefully we
Thank you so
will have
much.
you on again. Yes.
Yes, definitely. This was so much fun. I love connecting with like-minded people, like you guys said before. It's amazing.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So I'm going to go ahead and exit us out of being on live. So for everybody who's watching, until next time.